Yeah, like easier to navigate and also more like calm, and because it's like on the Mediterranean Sea, so there's like more, you can see the horizon, and the moment you see the horizon, you feel like, okay, I'm settled. But in Cairo, it's more like urban, like really urban, but it's really beautiful. Like there's so much, like so many good stuff to see there.
I see. I see. Yeah, I haven't been, but I sure would like to visit. Might stay away from the pyramids just because I've seen a lot of videos of like how difficult it is to just walk there and not get scammed.
You know, I never been, been to the pyramids. I've been
Really?
wanting to go. Yeah, but I never got the chance to. Like, I really want to go there, but with the scamming thing, yep, it's bad. Like, if you want to go to the pyramids, just you don't deal with the other people. Just be in your, your zone, you and your friends or whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
now they have been renewing a lot next to the pyramids because of the Grand Egyptian Museum. So they made like a bus line, they made this and that, and they're like putting it together.
You would have think that they would have made something like that decades ago, but I guess yeah, I guess it's good that they're doing it now.
Yep, yep. I would love to go through there, but it's a bit tacky to go there.
Oh no, fair enough. I get it. I get it. It's kind of like the same thing here. I'm from Toronto, and we have the CN Tower. It's this big tower that used to be a radio tower back in the '60s, I believe. And when people come from out of town, it's like, oh, that's the place I gotta be. But having grown up here, it's like, okay, well,
Mhm.
I'm used to it. Like it's a tower, cool, like whatever. In any case, so we're live. Thank you for everyone for joining us. Thank you,
Yes, of
Salah. Is
course.
that how I pronounce it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Thank you for making the time today. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Don't worry. Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. Yeah. Um, so just to start off, I initially discovered your work just randomly on my time feed, and I really loved the like from a like fairly far distance. If I was looking away at the screen, your images look
Mhm.
like they're essentially photographs. And it wasn't until I zoomed in and I realized, oh, this is actually like digital paint. He did this, and it reminded me, like you did this Spider-Man scene here. It reminded me a lot of that
Mhm.
kind of animated style. Have you always made works like this, or is it just something that you evolved into?
It's like I think I've came like a full circle with what I do now. Like at the beginning, at the like, if I can, like maybe I can start from the way how it started with drawing or like painting and how it like ended up in here.
Sure.
Uh, I started like at the beginning, like very traditionally, like how to draw an eye or portrait or something like this. Fast forward through this period, I was really young, and then I tried to go a little bit into the realism. Like it was kind of a trend at this time to draw Walter White and try to see how detailed or realistic he can be.
Mm-hmm.
And then like suddenly I got exposed. I don't remember at what age, but I was like around 15 years old. I saw like people drawing digitally, and it was nothing that I thought about before. Like I thought, oh, these animations or all this digital stuff just appears, like didn't know about it before. So I started wanting to be a character designer and like work in Disney, like with the Pixar style, like the old style and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, okay, no, fuck it. I want to see what else is there. So I like went a little bit into a comic book phase. Like I wanted to be a comic book artist. I tried this and that. I was like, no, fuck it. Maybe I would want to do like keyframe paintings for movies. So I started a little bit with that, maybe for a year or two. But then I was like, okay, now what's after that? And then the it was the Witness episode and the Into the Spider-Verse. I was like, yeah, fuck, I want to do this. So like from since then, I think I don't know how many years this now, but I found that this is what I liked about movies back then, and like all this led that I want to have a story. Like I'm trying to include a story. Like I'm trying to learn how can I make it in 3D, or how to learn animation, because I realized that all what I was looking for back then was creating a story within a picture. So like the way that like backgrounds, I think, can tell a story, or you can just feel the establishing shot in the old animation, not old animation, like something as simple as Phineas and Ferb. No, you
Hmm.
see their house, you see Timmy Turner's tree house, you see this, and you get like deep into the universe of this character.
Or even the Family Guy house.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Very simple.
yeah, and like you can recognize it anywhere.
Okay, and so it's just it's something that you did as a kid, or did you actually go to school for this? Did you learn it all on your own, or like what kind of instruction have you had before?
No, like I did it since I was a kid. Like I started drawing when I was like really young, only because I discovered that my grandpa, like I never met him. He died before I was born, but I discovered that the paintings in the wall of my grandma's house is like his. He painted them. And then I realized that, oh, my mom also draws, and I saw her sketchbook when she was in high school. So this is when I was like, oh, fuck, okay, you can do something on paper. It's not just supposed to be blank. So I started off of that, but I was just basically like learning on my own since then, like YouTube videos, this and this and this. Like the art education in my high school was like I hated it. Like I hated the art class in my high school,
Hmm.
and I didn't want to go to an art school because I feel like I would be forced, and then I would be hating it. Like it would end up for me like, it's just another assignment that I should finish, and it would take maybe the joy out of it. So this is
Hmm.
why also I didn't want to.
I see. Yeah, I've heard very similar things from other people, other artists that I've interviewed, and also my own experience that uh, in school, art is it's rare that you actually have the opportunity to learn from someone who's excited by it or interested in it or just makes it accessible for kids. Um,
Yeah.
which I find that kind of strange because like that's when you're at your best in terms of your ability to visualize things in your mind. Like I feel like it's like a muscle, and so as a kid, you're just using your imagination a lot more than you would
Yeah.
be as an adult. You know, like if you have an office job, like there's not exactly a lot of imagination when it comes to scanning or you know doing data entry or working in an office. Like yeah, you have to be creative in some respects, but you're not actually creating new worlds or thinking of new characters or anything like that. And
No,
I don't know.
yeah, it really makes a difference.
Yeah, and I would just assume like as a kid, because you have that natural instinct to do that, whenever you're bored or whatever, that should be like the easiest time to be creative.
Mhm.
So to have that drive and passion killed through school, like I feel like you have to actively try to make that happen. I don't know how that happens by accident.
Like there was like maybe like a little sidetrack for this. Like I got reminded of something. Like there was this channel for like it was like very known in the Middle East. It was like, can I say its name?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was like called Spacetoon, and it was mainly like the way the channel worked. It was you are on a spaceship with animation that is like really like old animation, but it works so good, and you get to travel between different universes. So basically, if you love Conan, they would take you to the action universe, and every universe has its own song, has its own theme, own planet. It takes you fully into the mood of the universe. And the second thing they did, they were like, we are acting. how do you say, we are not acting as the kids have little imagination to perceive, or like hard, like if it's hard for them to perceive strong words with the music or the song. So everything would have like a really deep meaning, and they didn't belittle the imagination of like 5-year-old kids watching
Mm.
it.
Okay, I see. So it would be like one of those channels on TV that would have like all the kids cartoons, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it was mainly anime. Like it was most of the channel was anime. They would dub it in a like a really beautiful way. There was also a bit of the old American cartoons. There would be different stuff, but mainly anime.
Yeah, yeah, no, I see that here. Very cool. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought that anime would have made it into the Arab world. That's an interesting that's an interesting mix right there.
No, it is actually like quite huge, especially back then and now. But back then it was like, this is the shit. You're watching it on TV when you come back from school.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. So you're basically self-taught then. You never like went to like get an actual degree in this stuff. It was all just on your own.
No, like the closest thing that I got to studying with art is architecture that I'm doing right now. But it's not really like I try to have the connection between both like what I'm doing and architecture, and it helped me in many ways. But for architecture now, the same thing happened that I was scared of if I go to an art university, that it made it just an assignment for me. It took the joy of wanting to, learn it properly, but it's just an assignment. But then I go on the side, be like, okay, what I am like interested in right now, I would try to dig deep in it, and I don't care about the grades because like fuck it at the end.
I see. Okay. So you're still sticking with that degree.
Yeah, like I just have 1 year left to do, and then like the first 2 years went well, so we'll see.
Do you know do you have any plans for what you want to do with it afterwards? Do you think you're going to go into the into the workforce as an architect? Because from what I've heard, it's quite difficult to make a name for yourself in that industry.
No, I don't think like I would want to continue as like an architect. It's like it's interesting to study and to know about and everything, but then if you want to work here, then you have to take masters in architecture and like do this and this and that. And like right now, I want to focus more on like the art aspect of like animation and video games, and like because this is what I really like. So I can try to utilize what I learned in architecture, but I would not go fully with the architecture route.
I see. Yeah, because the other difficulty that I've heard, especially in Europe, is that because so many buildings are protected as cultural and historical monuments, it becomes very difficult to build anything new, just
Yeah.
because there isn't the space for it in a lot of
Mhm.
places.
Like this is why like when they do the masters here in Italy, most of the students go to the restoration masters. So like this is what you can find in here mainly, and it's quite competitive to even work in it. But most of them go to restoration.
Oh, okay, so working on old buildings and making sure that they're kept up like as historical monuments and all that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I don't know if it also includes like the art restoration aspect. I don't think so, but it like I'm not sure how deep they go with it. I didn't ask much about it.
Yeah, I think it would be a separate field just because I've seen footage of some art restorationists work, and it's I mean you have to have a background in chemistry, you have to have
Mhm.
a very solid understanding of technique, of not just restoring it but actually like doing the painting because you're going to be doing um, beyond the cleanup. You're actually going to have to make the painting look as it did at one point. So it's a very
Mhm.
intensive uh, course from what I've heard.
It's quite complicated. Like I would be scared, honestly, to deal with something this old.
Well, because the last thing you would want to do, you probably remember this one, um, the famous Jesus restoration that happened all those years ago. I don't know if you remember this.
Yeah.
Like that, I mean, man, that's I God, I don't even have any words for that. I don't know how they allowed for this or who did it. Um, yeah, that's a crime, man. You gotta be in prison for that, honestly.
It's so bad.
It's so awful. I
Like,
mean, they would have been better off if they just kept it like the old one, you know?
yeah, yeah. Like it still has its value.
Insane. But
No,
yes,
it's a hard job.
yeah. So in any case, you want to essentially make your way into the media creation economy. So like whether it's games or movies or what have you, those are the kind of projects that you'd want to work on.
Yeah. Like, I really like love the any sort of media that you can like say something with. Like it's so good, like so many ways that you can express those like ideas and thoughts. It's so good.
Do you any like specific like franchises or IPs that you would want to work with?
I mean, like the ones that I really would love to for like for them being really good and for it being like a childhood or memory or something. Spider-Man, like as fuck, anything for
Oh yeah,
Spider-Man. I
oh yeah.
love Spider-Man. Scooby-Doo, as it showed here, and like Ninja Turtles. Even if there was like something for Timmy Turner, like these childhood stuff that you would
Hmm.
make your little self proud of, I would fuck with that.
Yeah, I remember I used to come home every day after school, and I would watch the new episode of the Fairly Odd Parents. I stopped watching
Yeah.
after they had the baby because then it just got like too weird. But like up until
Mhm.
that point, that show was amazing. It
So
was
good.
awesome.
It was really fucking good, and there was also Kim Possible. That was
Yeah,
fire.
yeah,
That was really fire.
yeah. Kim Possible was dope. I didn't watch a lot of anime growing up. It's something that I got more into as an adult, but I would see like Inuyasha on at night or the Naruto and whatnot, and yeah, it's
Mhm.
just it's incredible how much work goes into all that. So you would essentially you would want to do the keyframes as you called it, like the background design.
Like it can be like several stuff. Like sometimes it would be that you're designing the props for the movie. What are they using, like weapons or like the simple as the furniture in the house. Many stuff, or maybe like what I love. Like I feel that really affects a lot of things. Designing also the house of the person or the character of any character, like as we talked before, when you see Timmy Turner's tree house or the Kim Possible, like house, and you
Mm,
know a lot by just the location, which is this also I really love. And there's also like sometimes I do like the color keys, which also like is really fun to try to see how, like the outcome of the scene with different kinds of light. And like just the keyframe, like if you're just gonna paint a keyframe, including all the stuff that you designed, so you put them in one place and you make the whole scene out of it. This is also really fun to do.
I see. I see. Okay. Now, would do you think that you would also want to move into animation, like actually making an animation for yourself? Because I know that jump going from just like these still scenes that you have here, which I mean takes hours and hours and hours, I could imagine, with all the detail and different brushstrokes and textures that you use. Do you think that you would ever want to go into something like that?
Yeah, yeah, like I'm trying to take the jump to learn animation. It's like a little bit scary. Like I had this scare right before I started using Blender. I still don't know like much at all. Like I'm just trying to figure my way in it. But before I started, it would be even scary to open the Blender file and go after the cube, the default cube, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it is quite
So
complicated.
it is really complicated, but also even when like I just realized even when if you don't know much about it, you can still do end up and doing something out of it, which is really good. Like it's beginner friendly and also non-beginner friendly.
Yeah, there's just all these settings, all these different user interface options that you have to learn. I'm trying
Mhm.
to get into 3D modeling right now, and I'm just beginning. I barely know anything, but yeah, it's so super complicated. But it's like anything. If you give it enough time, you'll be able to you'll be able to know your way around it. That's what I've heard from most people that work with like 3D
Mhm.
modeling is that it's incredibly frustrating throughout the process. Like the frustration never stops. It just you get it. It doesn't get easier, but you get better.
Yeah, there's I don't know what's happening outside, but there's some sort of I don't know a marsh. It's a marsh about Palestine. Yeah.
There's
Can
always
you
some.
hear me
There's
well?
always yeah. I can hear you. I can hear you just fine.
But can you hear the outside?
No, 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 not at all. No.
Okay. If it got loud, like I can move into a different room.
Yeah, yeah, I'll let you know if anything. Um,
Okay.
but in terms of these scenes, I noticed that some of these you get inspiration from places that you've been to and you take photographs of. Um, do you do much like world building from scratch, or is it mostly just inspiration from taking your walks around your neighborhood and the scenery and all that?
I try to do both. Like most of the time, if either I would go somewhere or walk somewhere or do anything, I try to capture it with like pictures or whatever. Either I would paint the picture as it is because I already had the like composition in mind when I was taking the picture or the colors in mind. So I already script that part of it and now I'm painting it. So it doesn't take much of a mental like thought to it.
Hmm.
But other times I want to create something or build the whole scene for it, which can be like in the last thing that I did with the room in Paris. It's not much of a building, it's just an apartment, but I had a story that I wanted to do as like a short film, and this is for when I learn how to animate. So I was like, okay, fuck it, let me try to at least build something in this universe to start off from. So this room was for that.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I think it's this one here, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And so how does this process begin when you have an idea for a piece or you see inspiration from a photograph? Do you just start with like the big overarching shapes first and then with layer by layer you get into the smaller details or how does it go usually?
Like from the very beginning, like I can speak for like the room piece and maybe also this piece for like this one. It's different approaches. Like sometimes, the approach would differ from a painting to the other. For instance, the one in the room for in Paris, I started first, like I got a sketchbook and I tried to draw like a plan for the room. Like, okay, if the kitchen was here, the bathroom was here, like how can I organize the furniture inside so it's not also weird if I wanted to develop the idea more and then I would have the character move inside. So I did this like sketches of the plan on paper, and then from that I went to Blender, just like blocked really simple shapes to have like a variety of this window because quite huge. It's just in your face. So I was like, okay, let me try how it would look like in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up with this. And then from that, I tried to put just literally squares, cubes or like cylinders. This here, here, here. Okay, like they seem to be in the right place. And there's like a plugin in Blender that you can just search for, like, let's say a table. You click on it, drag it to the scene, just you have a table. And it helped me because I'm quite indecisive. So it being able to move it around like in different places, different sizes, this and this and this helps with the indecisiveness. So it's like, okay, this it should be here, and I continue doing this with the whole scene. And then I did something that I didn't try before. I tried to set the lighting as well, like something close to the colors of the scene. It was close to it, but as I was going like within the painting process, I derived from it a bit, but it's like the overall atmosphere of the room.
I see. Okay, so part of your education that you're getting as you're doing this and learning on your own, I'm guessing you learn a lot about interior design as well as you're going through all these scenes. Because as you said, you know, you can't just put the table or the bed wherever. It has to make sense as if someone actually lives in the space. It has to look um, like it was purposefully put there.
Mhm. Yeah, this is what like helped a lot from architecture, because I didn't think about this aspect before. Like, I had the design classes in architecture, and they talked about like, okay, we design these places for people, so it has to make sense. Everything that was put there, they have to live with it for like so many years, or even for a little bit. It has to
Hmm.
make sense for that. So like one of the things that I'm quite annoyed about, like with this with this room, that it looks like his back would really hurt. The chair on the table is like, the stool,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
then the table, like he just has cushions. It serves a little bit with the story that I wanted to have in mind, but also it's like he needs to have some rest. Like I would be annoyed as fuck if I didn't lean my back like this.
Maybe he's just short. Maybe he's just really really short.
That also can be.
Yeah. Okay. So, when you're looking for inspiration, because you mentioned that when you go through Blender, you just take whatever the default design is and use that as a placeholder. Do you ever like flip through like IKEA catalogs or like Pinterest and get inspiration for different like furniture and pieces that you would want to add to the scene? Like where do you actually get your inspiration from? Do you have any sources like that?
I didn't think about the IKEA catalog thing, but it's really it's really good because I usually go there. It's quite fun to like go like once a month or something to walk around. But there's a big use of like of Pinterest. I'm like most of the time like, okay, let me try to open Pinterest even if I don't want to paint anything right now,
Mm-hmm.
or if I don't feel like doing anything. I would just look of about like I would just open it for like an hour or something, just keep like scrolling in it, and then I would feel, the urge to do something after. Like I fed myself and now I'm gonna do something.
I see. Yeah, yeah. Because I'd imagine with designing these kind of scenes, you don't want to get stuck with using the same kind of table, the same kind of chair, the same kind of thing every time. So I figure something like Pinterest would help a lot with that inspiration because like there's just it's endless. Like I just got on it recently myself. Whenever I'm looking to like design or just I don't know get some inspiration and yeah, it's a great source for it. I don't know why I didn't do it earlier. I don't know. I guess I always had this thought that Pinterest was just it was for like middle-aged women to post like cat photos or something. But there's a lot of really really useful stuff for creatives on there.
No, it's so good. Like I love it, honestly. Like I spend I spend a lot of time in there.
I see. Okay. And have you had any chances to work on making any like keyframes for any kind of films or animation or games yet, or have you not tried that?
I did do like I was like the background lead in an animation in Egypt. They're still working on it right now, and this was really like a shock for me because it was the first thing that I did, and it was like literally like the lead for it, and I didn't know how much to act, but it didn't help me because I was like, okay, I got more familiar with the surrounding situation, and then I worked on like several other stuff, but it was freelance, and then I worked recently like on a game. It's like still not out, so like it's most of the stuff are NDA. But I'm waiting for anything to like finally finish.
Oh, okay. So it's all in progress. Okay. Is the animation?
But
Is it just like? Yeah, go ahead.
the animation, they only did the trailer for it. It was only in like kind of festivals. They showed the trailer of the pilot that we did so far, but as if it's finished, I think it's almost finished. I had to leave to work on something else, but everything was pretty much set back then for the visual development of it. So I left after that.
Oh, I see. What's the name of it? We can look it up on YouTube, maybe.
It's actually made by like Space Tune. Like it had its death for many years, and now it's coming back. So it's one of the like it's gonna be aired on Space Tune that we talked about before. It's
Nice.
called the last Dahih on Earth, but I don't know if it's gonna be on YouTube. I can try to pull out the video of the story of the art director being in there, but I don't think.
You said it's the last
Let me
what? How do you
try.
how do you spell it?
Wait, let me try to find it, and if I could find it, I will send you the link.
Yeah, yeah, sure, no problem, no
Uh,
problem.
no, it's not on YouTube yet because it was usually just in the like if there's a festival or something or animation gathering, it showed in there. But I can try to look for the story later and send it to you.
Oh, okay, no problem. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, that's cool. Looking forward to seeing that come out. But it's gonna be like a full, like an actual like movie, not just like a 5-10 minute film.
Like no, it's not a movie. It's like a series. So it's like very short episodes, 10, 15 minutes, and they're making like the first season right now. They're almost done with it.
Oh, okay. What's the story about?
It's basically the Hayh is the name of the character, and he's really famous and like in the Middle East. He makes like YouTube videos, like the pop science videos, but it's really good. It's a character, this and this and that. So they wanted to make an animation show based on this character. I can show you actually the poster because the poster at least is out.
Sure, sure.
Wait, I'll give a lot of this. One second. Uh, where's Discord? Yeah, I sent you the link in Discord.
Now let's pull it up here. Okay.
So that's just the poster for it, like the background and the like behind him. It's I think the first one that I did for it. We might have the trailer somewhere in the stories. He's the art director. He's really good to work with. But I'm not sure if the trailer will be in one of the like not these stories, but probably one of the highlights. I'm not sure. Like, anyways, he also worked on this Disney show. It was really good.
Oh, very interesting. Some of this animation reminds me of Love, Death, and Robots. Actually, some of the style.
Yeah, it was kind of basically like the Love, Death of and Robots of Disney.
Very cool. That's awesome that you get to you grew up watching Space Tune and now you're actually making work for them.
Yeah, it's like a circle as fine. Like I was like, damn, okay. It's like a childhood moment thing. This is why I told you like a lot of the stuff that I would love to really work with are the stuff from childhood. You know, it hits different.
Oh, I see. Oh, and I guess the movie that you guys are making is based on this guy here.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I
Oh,
think this
okay.
is old videos, but there's like new videos. Like it changes little bit every year, but this is his own channel. So it's like in the old days. Like
Very
damn,
cool.
9 years ago. I didn't know he did it 9 years ago.
Very interesting. Cool. Okay. And the kind of work that you do now, is it do you do any commissioned work? Like do you make any money off the work that you do besides the projects that you have, or is it just like these projects every now and then that you get an opportunity for?
There would be sometimes commissions, or there would be like a freelance job that's like 3, 4 days, maybe like a week. That's like something that needs to be done very quickly. So like, okay, I can do it. But I'm mainly looking for like, to work on a big project or something.
Okay. And when people commission you, is it also for animated works, or is it just like just for anything, like, oh, I want a work of art that's based on my house, or maybe I love the cartoon growing up, like is there like what kind of trends do you notice there?
It's usually like if there's a place where like a location sometimes that is close to that person, they would be like, oh, I would love to like have a painting of this street or like a scene sort of that happened to this person. So kind of there's, how do you say, not much design aspect of it. Sometimes you personalize it a little, sometimes you just like create something for someone. uh just that.
I see. Okay. Do you find that commissions are fairly easy to come by for the work that you do? Because most of the artists that I speak with just tell me that it's random. You know, you could go 6 months, 8 months without a commission, and then all of a sudden, 1 month you're just swamped with like 10 works that people are looking for.
Yeah, exactly. This is exactly how it is. Like some months, like nothing happens, just dead silence, and then suddenly, like this and this and this, or like you get like maybe like when you start working mainly, you just start getting the emails of like, ah, where we want you to do like the this dev or background painting on this after you already started working. So it's like, I don't want to say no, but sometimes I have to.
Yeah, yeah, no,
But
because
like it goes for months without like anything.
yeah, because I'd imagine these pieces they take quite a bit of work with all the layers and texturing that you do. So you want to make sure that you have time for each commission and make sure that it fits
Mhm.
within your standards and that doesn't sound just shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like usually they think like if I'm doing something personal, it would usually take maximum a week. Like the painting in Paris, I like the one in the morning. It
Mm-hmm.
took I think 6 days or 5 days. But with production, it differs because there's like a lot of feedbacks going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and a lot of things change. So it's like it takes more time, like usually to think or try to think how to fix a problem that you're facing.
Okay, I see. And in terms of when you were actually just in the beginner stage of learning all this, what resources did you lean on? Were there like any specific books or like YouTube channels that you found were really useful, or did you just try to emulate the kind of people that you aspired to make art like one day?
Like if you're talking about like this like style currently right now, it's quite hard. Like or at least it was quite hard. Nowadays there's like a lot of courses that can help with this. But when I was starting, I couldn't have access to the courses, or like it was mainly YouTube, how to learn like how to just use the digital painting in any manner, and then I could just wing it or try to imitate a painting or a style, or how can I get the same feeling as this. But like nowadays there's so many good courses that I took a couple, and they really help a lot with like the workflow, the process, and everything.
I see, I see. And when you mentioned that you had your grandfather was a painter, does that run in the family, or is it just you and your grandpa there?
As long as I know, it's probably just my grandma and my mom. My mom didn't continue much with like drawing and like all these stuff, but my grandpa, I think until like old age, he was still like painting or doing paintings and stuff.
So it wasn't as hard to convince your family that, hey, like I don't want to just like be a starving artist. You know, I want to get into this professionally and do the work. I imagine that it makes it easier if it's already been done in your family like that.
No, it's quite hard. It was really hard. Like in the sorry, one second. Like in the Middle East, especially like in Egypt and stuff, like you cannot say that I'm just gonna work as an artist. Like even my grandpa, he had like a full-time job, completely different out of the field of art,
Hmm.
and like my mom didn't go through with it. So it's like, what do you mean you are gonna make a career as like an artist? Like you don't even think about it. Like it doesn't appear to your mind like, oh, I can work as an artist. So I couldn't like blame them much for that. Like now, uh, like I understand it. Like this is why the reason that I studied engineering for 4 years. I had only 1 year left. It's 5 years in Egypt, because they needed me to have like a degree.
Hmm.
Because okay, you want to do what you want to do, good, but have a backup plan if like it went to shit. I didn't like that, and this is like why I kind of wanted to escape also from engineering, because like what the fuck am I gonna do here?
Hmm.
I couldn't feel like I can keep at the pace with the people that actually love what they're doing here. So I was like, okay, at least I can do architecture. So it's the closest to my parents' eyes, like a real degree I could get that's close to what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's probably when it comes to like professional work. Besides maybe going into like illustration for marketing, architecture is probably the closest one that's still considered a very uh, high quality discipline, but you still have like a little bit of creativity in there that you have that freedom with.
Yeah, which is like really nice that it's it's there and it's considered in that way. Plus, like the reason that I went also with it, that I was like, okay, if at least it's not gonna be like an art school and it would make me hate painting, so it was like a good choice of what I can possibly take as a degree.
I see, I see. Okay, so what brought you to Italy then? Because I'd imagine, you know, you have a lot of freedom with the choice of where you want to go. I figure it's probably closer to home, if my geography is correct, than any other country in Europe, from my understanding. But what drew you to it specifically?
There was not like much options that I had in Europe, because in Germany, most of it, like if not 90% of the public schools are gonna be in German, or the ones in English. You have to have a B2 level in German to be able to convince the embassy that you can study there. So
Hmm.
you have to have, like a really with German language. So I was like, no, fuck this. It's too hard to learn with Italian. I think the other option was Austria, which was the same thing. They needed, I think, B1 in German. So Italy was like the other choice you could have. And they didn't need Italian. They just needed, okay, if you're gonna study in English, then just take the IELTS exam and do shit ton of paperwork, but you get to go. So yeah, like, and the course in English, the one that I'm taking, so it's not difficult to go through it with Italian.
Oh, okay, gotcha, gotcha. And how do you like the schooling? I know it's not exactly what you want to do for the future, but what is the program like in Italy where you're studying?
It's really like some parts are really interesting, some parts like I know I'm not gonna use it ever in my life. Like with they are so heavy. I don't know if it's just here in this university or like in general, but they're so heavy on the structure and physics aspect every semester. Sometimes there will be a course that even the professor like knows, okay, you're not gonna use this probably in your life, so let's let's get it over with.
Mm-hmm.
uh like the interesting part usually in every year is the design class, which takes the most time of your semester. So it's like a love-hate relationship with it, with it.
So what do you do in the design classes that actually like where you get to explore and reimagine what new architecture, what modern architecture could look like, or what does the class actually do?
Last the last 2 years they did something interesting, which like basically there is a neighborhood or two here that how they say they're trying to renovate. Like the neighborhoods are
Mm-hmm.
there, one of them called Aurora, the other is called Belen Barrier, and they're quite, they're quite chaotic. It's, like there is a lot of drug dealers in there. There's this and that. There's a lot of people that came also from Egypt, from Morocco, from Turkey. Like it's a mix between a lot of different cultures.
Mm-hmm.
So they were saying that okay, the government now actually is trying to renovate, try to bring people into the neighborhood, this and that. So they gave us a plot, like an actual plot of the neighborhood, and we went there. We walked, we seen the places, and they made us choose a plot of these to make something for the people that are living there. Like let's say a cultural hub, or you're gonna make a hospital, or you're gonna make this or this or that, and everybody chose their plot and went with it.
Oh, so you guys are actually working on designing something that's going to be built by the government in the next couple of years.
I don't think so. Like what I think that's happening, or the reason why that every year they made us do something within these two neighborhoods, that I think they might want like think, or they might gather inspiration from us, because like we have like what 120 people in the class. At least there will be a good idea or two, or maybe like something that can lead them somewhere, or at least this is what I think,
Hmm.
because it cannot be also like a coincidence. Like probably they get inspired from something which like we're very early, like the skill level and everything, but an idea is an idea, I think.
So free labor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, interesting, interesting. And so you mentioned only 120 people. That's quite a small class.
Yeah, like I think maximum it would be 200. I'm not sure, but it's not gonna go over that. There's not much people there.
Is that typical for architecture programs, or is the one that you go to just specifically for that?
I'm not so sure, because in Egypt, like let's say if you are in engineering, there will be like shit ton of people in the
Oh yeah,
classroom or the
hundreds.
lecture. In architecture, there will be much less in there. but it would be still like a good amount of people that are in the like maybe I don't know, the whole class of that year can be at least 500 ish. And then if you go to the more, because we have two architecture in Egypt, one is the more like on the fine arts side, and one is the more of the engineering side. The fine arts part is much less, like way less than the engineering side.
Yeah, not a lot of money in fine art these days, I don't think.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. And do you feel that the course is or the degree that you're looking into, do you feel that it's like modernized, that it's adapted to the modern world? Because like yeah, I'd imagine that everything. I've really only spoken to another architect, and he said that obviously now that drawing by hand is gone, nobody really does that anymore. Everything is digital. But everything that he went to in his program, which I think was in Switzerland, um, it's like the top school. They have very rigorous standards. It's very competitive. So they have to be like on the cutting edge of technology and everything like that. Do you find that that's kind of similar in your experience, or what is that like?
Like for the first year, they kind of forced us to work mainly with like traditionally, like before heading into AutoCAD or 3D or this and this and that. Maybe at the end of the second semester, would that they let us, do something digital. But I would say they are not that heavy on using technology in like these 3 years. They don't give a fuck if you're gonna do good render or if you are gonna render it realistically. Sometimes they even tell you, do not do a realistic render. We just need a good way to illustrate your idea or like whatever you want to illustrate it, but they don't be like, oh, if you don't use the software, you're fucked or whatever. They let you be.
Oh, okay, I see. What do the assignments even look like in the class? Like, what kind of homework do you guys have? I'd imagine a lot of it is studying architectural movements of the past and inspiration from the past. But in terms of the actual work that you guys do in the school, what does that actually look like?
Like sometimes, like yeah, there's a big part of history class every semester, I think, and restoration. I think this semester is gonna be with like restoration stuff, but it's just an exam at the end. Like with the assignments, they start at the beginning, like oh, we are gonna go to this plot, or they give you an imaginary plot that you have to solve a problem there, like oh, build a house for a family or have these limitations, the code of this city didn't work with it. Either they're gonna start with something small or start directly to the main assignment that takes you like the whole semester to finish.
So you guys have assignments where like you would actually work on it for an entire semester.
Yeah. Like most of the design classes like this, like they would start the assignment that goes to like throughout the whole semester, like maybe the second weekend or the third weekend, you already like started and working on it.
Okay, and so that's where you're actually designing a building from scratch and making it into your own.
Yeah, like literally, like it's it's like a blank page, and it's crazy because I really hate the part with that's like that you have to make the structure now, like the loads and load bearing this and this and this. Like this is the part that I hate the most.
Mm.
So I try to be like, okay, I'm out of this part. Somebody in the group would do it. I would, I would take care of different stuff.
How do you even determine that? I'm guessing you have to use some kind of software that takes physics into account. So you, based on the materials that you use, it would calculate like where you need the load bearing walls or structure to be.
Yeah, like in the first year, they made us do the whole fucking thing manually. Like you had to do the calculations of everything yourself, the loads and everything.
Mm.
Within the second year, they were like, okay, now you can use the software that calculates the loads for you, but you still have to know a lot of like mechanics to even go through with putting the equation, like to let the computer know that okay, calculate this here.
Okay. Okay, I see. Yeah, because I'd imagine doing that by hand is like it's so much more difficult. But you know, people's lives are at stake. They're going to be living in these buildings, so
Yeah.
sorry they had to go through it. But we wanna be able to go to sleep at night and not have to worry about our walls coming down.
Yeah, exactly. So they let us now use the softwares for it.
Okay, okay. And other people in your class there, what are their plans for after school? Because as we said earlier, it's a very difficult field to break into, um, unless you know somebody or your family has a reputation or you just have money. Um, do you find that a lot of other people are going in kind of the same path of finding some kind of a creative outlet for all the skills they've learned in architecture, or are they actually like looking to become legit serious architects?
There's like a mix of everything. Like uh, there is some would really you can see it on them that they really love architecture or they want to pursue like being a designer or working on a firm or this and this or that. Some have connections from their parents, so they already know that okay, I'm gonna finish here, I'm gonna work there. Some like me, like okay, I'm taking it kind of on the side. This is not the main thing, so I'm just gonna try to utilize it. And some don't really give a fuck about about anything.
Okay, so basic university stuff. I get it. Yeah, everyone's
Uh,
kind of mixed bag. Are there a lot of schools for architecture in Italy? Do you find, or is it still like fairly niche? Like when you were looking at options, there was only a handful. I'm guessing.
uh, in English, there's like quite a few. I think, in my knowledge, there's only three that take the course in English, which is like a public school, not a private one. The one in Torino that I'm in, there's one in Milano, and there's one in Rome. I think these are the only ones in English you can get. Otherwise, there's a lot, but in Italian. And then if you have to get a visa, then you have to prove that you have B2 level in Italian, which it's not hard. Like it's not as hard as German, but it's still like quite hard.
Mm. How do you like life in Italy? Do you think you would want to stay after you finish your degree?
Yeah, actually, like maybe like I don't mind moving elsewhere, like Spain or France or whatever. But like, what I feel like I really need would be a coastal city. Like I miss seeing the, the horizon or like the beach or whatever. So what I'm thinking about is just after I finish this year, I would go somewhere near the beach, anywhere. I don't care where, but somewhere near the water.
Well, Italy has a lot of coastline. I'm sure you could find a spot there.
Mhm. Yeah, like the I think like just mainly the problem with the coastal cities in here at least, most of them are it would be like a small city or like a really small town, and
Mm.
it wouldn't really like I feel like I would still get bored. Like I need to have the mixture between a city that's like it has the life into it, and also you can see the sea.
Yeah, that's a difficult balance to strike, but because especially if that
It's not
city's
hard.
developed, it's gonna be expensive to live there. There's gonna be a lot of people trying to get in there.
I think Napoli is the closest, like really like I sometimes I look at a picture and I'm like I mistake it for Alexandria, and it's like the closest to Egypt, and the way like you have the balance between the chaos and the the old buildings, the water, this and this and that.
Mm.
Like cultural wise, even they're quite close to and Greek, the Greece also, it's quite close in the mannerism or the places. It looks a lot like Egypt and Alexandria.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, it looks like no. Naples is fairly. Yeah, they look really developed. I've never been, so I genuinely don't know.
I've never been either, but like I would see from my friends, they would show me like I have like a couple of Egyptian friends that went there and they showed me pictures and stuff. It's crazy. The 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 similarities are too much.
Yeah, no, it's pretty close. It's not too far.
Hmm.
And whereabouts do you live now in Italy? You said.
And Torino is like way up north, like right before France. Yeah, Turin.
Oh, Turin.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, this looks quite busy.
You're right.
A lot of nature
There's a
too.
lot of.
Oh yeah, these blocks they remind me of Barcelona.
Mhm. It gives a lot also of Paris, like street level. It looks a lot like Paris with also the river and everything. Which and I think a friend of mine from Torino, he told me that I'm not so sure about this part, but he told me about a king of like the king of Torino at this time. I think it was Vittorio Emanuele II, or one of them that had his wife was from Paris, so she wanted to make. Torino kind of close to how Paris feels, which there's like I can see like a lot of similarities between it when you walk in the streets at night, but I like Paris more.
Oh really? You like Paris more? I have not. I haven't heard good things about Paris in the last couple of years. I'll be honest with you.
Honestly, like I didn't have the high expectations of like like the pristine or like the romanticized version of like Paris. I was going looking for chaos. I found chaos. I was like, okay, that feels like home. That's good for me.
Oh, I see. Yeah, because there is actually there's this psychological effect called Paris syndrome that many
Hmm.
people suffer from because when they visit Paris, they have this idea that's built up throughout their lives, and because regardless of which background you come from, chances are you've seen it in a movie or an animated film or in a book or whatever. Growing up, you have this idea of what Paris is like, but when you're actually there, it's uh, it's not at all what was in the days of Hemingway or whoever, of what Paris was like back then. They just that shock um, they can't make sense of it. So some people like actually like suffer from like psychotic breaks because of this.
It's like, yeah, I get it. Like I think one of the reasons that I like it, that I went there knowing like, okay, it's not gonna be this idealized version in the movies or this or this or that. I want to see like the actual like streets, and like it feels like it has the soul, like like the city you could feel the soul of the city. Unlike, let's say, here in Torino, it's quite, everybody's going to his job, or like it's very quiet, but there you could feel some, I don't know how to explain it, honestly.
I see. Yeah, yeah. The other thing I've heard about Paris is that the French are they're one of the few cultures where like they will actually get offended at people trying their language. But like if I like let's say go to China or like Spain or wherever, they're like, "Oh my god, like you're actually you're trying. You're trying to speak in my language. It's obviously broken, but we like that
Yeah.
you're putting in an effort." But the French will no shame will tell you like, "No, you're butchering my language, you piece of shit. Like what are you doing? Like what is wrong with you?" Like I remember seeing this video where this guy was just, he was just walking in the street, just a tourist, and he's just filming himself, and he's like, "Bonjour, bonjour" to everyone, and this lady stops him in the street. She's like, "Bonjour," and they just keep like going back and forth with him like pronouncing it, and he's just getting visibly frustrated. He's like, "What are you like? We're saying the same thing, man. Like, relax. It's not that big of a deal."
It is crazy with that. Like, honestly, here it's good because in here also, when you try speak in Italian, they appreciate it a lot.
Hmm.
They start speaking to you at some point, like within 2 seconds of the conversation, after they know that you're trying to speak in Italian, they would go full on like Eminem speed and they
Hmm.
talk as if
Hmm.
you are fluent. That's the only problem. But they're really like on the supportive spectrum of like, okay, you're trying, so I'm gonna help you with it.
Yeah, because even like here in Canada, you know, we have French as the second national language because they came and they settled a province way back when, and
Mhm.
even like the French, they do not appreciate the Quebecois because that's where they are. It's the province of Quebec. They hate them. They don't accept them. I think there was a movement at some point for them
It's
to
bad.
join France, and France is like, hell no, we don't want those people. We don't accept them.
What the fuck?
Yeah, well, because the accent is just it's so different. It's much more like urban and working class. It's very rough. There's a lot more like
Mhm.
different slang to it. It has a different feel to it than Parisian French. Well, not even Parisian, but just French in general. So it's
Mhm.
like you can tell when someone is speaking like Quebecois French and just regular French.
I never heard it. Like my French is really fucking bad. Like I took it for 8 years at school, but the teachers were really, really shitty. So I never got out with anything. So I I don't know if I could probably recognize or no.
Oh yeah, no, here too. Like it's our second language, but the way that they taught it was just all, oh, here's a worksheet or translate this word or this or that, and people just never, they never really sat down and told people how to pronounce words properly. Like they would do it on occasion, but they didn't drill it enough into them. So you just have to
Mhm.
sit there and listen to someone say, "Oh, je m'appelle Mark." You know, like just butchering it
Yeah.
completely. Okay,
You know,
right
it's
on.
like it's exactly the same here. They would just write a couple of words on the board, write it down in your sketchbook, or like translate this or that. That's
Hmm.
it for the day.
Yeah, interesting. So, for the future, where where do you see this stuff going? Because you mentioned that you know you'd like to work with some of these different intellectual properties and cartoons and whatnot that you grew up with. Do you have any ideas for anything original, like an original world that you would want to create?
There is like not cartoon based or like or a series of like like a big IP. It's just like stories that I get like the one that I did in the room, or there's like a couple of other stories that I have the idea for. I have the whole setting of the place, the locations, this and this and that, but I didn't start it on paper yet. Sometimes I'll go out with like the old handheld camera, the like the video camera. I
Mm-hmm.
would go take some videos, try to edit it to try to get close to what I have in mind, but I haven't started it as like animation thing yet. This is why like I'm trying to get slowly into animating, or maybe at some point like me and my friends we did like this animation, like short animation thing, the Bloom animation, and I think it was somewhere on my Instagram page. I did like really like a small part on it, but they did really amazing. So we're trying to work on ideas and bringing them into like animation. So maybe at some point with them, or I would just try to make a good base out of it alone and try to see if someone is willing to help
Hmm. I see.
a small hours.
Because I noticed a lot of the kind of stuff that you do for, well, the style, it's very modern, like present day in regards to the architecture and whatnot. Like it's not like cyberpunk or you know going back into the ancient world or anything like that,
Mhm.
or even the fantasy world of you know dragons and knights and all that kind of stuff. Um, is there a particular reason for it that like you haven't branched out into that kind of thing? Because I remember this one animator that I interviewed, he was based in Poland, and growing up, he saw the after effect of World War II and how it decimated his country, and so
Hmm.
he he gravitated towards more futuristic world as a kid because he was tired of
Hmm.
seeing all this destruction and whatnot outside, and he wanted to see this like more futuristic. Everything is like built modern, made out of steel, just LEDs everywhere, all that kind of stuff, cyberpunk type future. um, Kind of in a similar way here in North America, we kind of have this obsession with post-apocalyptic worlds because I would assume in that
Hmm.
same way, we live where everything is, the roads are developed, lights are always on, we don't have to worry about the electricity going off. So we want to envision what we don't have around ourselves and see like the
Hmm.
world actually break down. But for you, what is it that makes you gravitate towards something that is more like located in the present day? Or is that just not even something that you think about?
No, this is like really actually like a really interesting way. Like I didn't think about the cyberpunk thing or the post-apocalyptic thing that way before, which makes a lot of sense now. And for me, yeah, like the reason that I everything basically it's like in the present or the modern day, that I like most of the inspiration that I've gotten, like or anything that makes me inspired to paint, is it stuff that happens to me or it happens in the street or whenever like I go out. I There's so many stories within like that happens around, or like especially if you're in Egypt, there's so many side quests that you're gonna have and you're gonna see or
Mm,
get through. For me, which is really fucking interesting. Like there's a lot of things that happen in the street, even like y- your street here, like below your house. So many stuff that happen, or so much people that pass by. It's a lot of stories. So this is why I feel like okay, I kind of like the street. You know, everything like most of my paintings would I think be located in a street because a lot of interesting stuff happens in there, or like especially in Egypt. You'll find something in there. Like no matter where are you, there's some random shit that's happening in the street. Like I remember like one of the videos that I had on the video camera. I was like recording a video out of the car window, and just like a car passed by, there was four people in the trunk, sitting, dangling their legs because the car is full already of people. So these are the four or three excess people, so they're sitting in the trunk going to
hmm.
their destination.
Okay. Interesting. So you'd always like had that as a kid, like you'd always just had a camera on you, or just on occasion when you'd go out.
No, no, not really. Like there was like cameras around me, but like I didn't use it that much. But like I don't know like how many years ago I started like okay focusing more on what happens in the street, or trying to remember, or like one of the ideas that I had was mainly of stories that of stuff side quests that would happen in the street in a normal day, but it's not it's not too normal.
Hmm. Gotcha, gotcha. So you would love New York then.
Actually, yes, yes, yes. Like I know people like sometimes shit on it a lot, or it's too chaotic or anything. For me, like if it wasn't for like the whole gun situation, that I would fully move in there. But it's kind of fucking scary that everybody can just like hold a gun.
Well, yeah. Well, the solution there is for you to have a gun of your own.
Yeah, most probably, like most probably, if I ever win, I would have something to to help me run for my life.
Yeah, well, they say, and then an armed society is a polite society because everyone knows that they're armed. So you don't start bullshit over something small. Like, oh man, you dinked my car. Like, nah, nah, you just keep driving, buddy. Just keep driving.
Yeah, you don't want to talk shit to someone.
Yeah. Okay. I see. Yeah, because I mean, living in a city like Toronto, there's yeah, there's plenty of side quests to get into, but it's mostly like just the downtown core. It's not like the whole city. It's very far spread out. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, I get what you mean. If you spend enough time just walking around, you're gonna see. I mean, every day there's something new, some crazy character on the street, or somebody selling something on the sidewalk, or a parade, or whatever. There's just there's always this like hustle and bustle. But me personally, like I try to have a space for myself where I can just be alone with my thoughts and get away from it on occasion because it just gets too much sometimes. Like all the noise and everything. Like man, I try to do most of my work at night when
Mhm.
like barely any cars are going by. I just have like me, my music, my monitors, and that's it. I can't really thrive in chaos, but I guess as someone who was born in Egypt, like you don't really have a choice. Your body is kind of hardwired to it.
I mean, like work wise, I always love to work at night. Like it's the time. Like okay, I would have my chaos in the morning, do this and that, or like if it's loud in the morning or anything. If I'm going to work, it's usually at night because it's like the peaceful time. Okay, now everybody's asleep. I
Hmm.
can work in peace. So it's like this is why it's hard for me also to regulate here much with like okay, there is not much of a nightlife. Like if I wanna go out at night like I used to, but it's also good for like not so good, honestly, because now you have to wake up early if you want to do any anything.
Hmm.
So I cannot work at night as much, but I still like do and fuck up my sleeping schedule.
Yeah, yeah, I get you. I get you. So you're still doing commissions these days as you're juggling school and then all these other projects like that's a lot to it's a lot to take in all at once.
Yeah, yeah, it gets like overwhelming sometimes. But what's helping me, honestly, that I really don't care about. I don't stress about grades at uni. Like for me, if I pass, I pass, and it was going good. Like I would some like get even good grades, but if I fuck up with something, then fuck it. I really don't care how much GPA I'm gonna end up with, as long as I don't have to repeat this shit, then I'm good.
Yeah, because for your purposes, it's just I just need the piece of paper at the end of it. Whatever minimum
Yeah,
is going to get me there. That's fine by me.
and nobody gives a fuck even. Like they don't rarely ever like look at the GPA or like how much was your average score. Like if you have a good portfolio, you have a good portfolio. If you have an experience, okay, you had an experience, but they don't give much fucks about how much you got in uni.
Oh no, definitely not. Yeah, ever since I finished, I don't think I've ever even been asked that in an interview. I don't even think anyone's even asked to see my diploma.
Yeah, yeah.
For any of like the jobs that I applied, and I felt kind of cheated by that because I was like, wait, I could have just lied this whole time. Like I could have just made something up. I could have just said I went to like maybe not Harvard. That's a bit of a strong lie, but
Switch.
yeah, some like medium like tier university that's still like pretty good. Like I could have just lied. Like what the hell? What did I do all that for?
Yes, exactly. They never ask. It's fucking crazy. And especially like what is like scary to me also that the decision of going to uni in the US. I don't know about Canada, like the prices, but the tuition fees for a university in the US, you cannot fuck with that.
Hmm.
Like I don't think I would have done the jump that I did in like from engineering to architecture if the prices were this fucking high. Look, okay, the price of the engineering university, it was like a private school, so it was a bit pricey, which is like was a shame, but still not this crazy prices that are in the US. It's scary.
Yeah, I mean, here in Canada, it's still, in my opinion, it's still fairly high. Like, I ended up paying, I think about, well, I took student loans,
Mhm.
for about, I think 40,000 or something for, I think I spent 5 years in university. I took a year off, so total would have been six. But yeah, about 40,000. So per semester, I think it was 7,000 Canadian. which in US I think that's closer to like maybe 3.5 or something like that. But yeah, no, America definitely has it set up in a much different way, and the value of the degree is just with every passing year, it's getting lower and lower and lower because more and more people have degrees, so it just causes this inflation. So now to like even work the
Hmm.
most basic jobs, like a bachelor is just considered entry level, whereas before it used to have much more weight. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's weird.
everybody is like doing masters now. I'm like, fuck no, I'm not gonna do 2 more years of studying. Okay, like I'm done.
No, hell no. And masters is like it's not a completely different animal, but it's a lot more intensive because that's when you actually zone in on like a
Hmm.
very 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 specific subject, and that's also a gamble because like you're hoping that your micro focused lens on whatever it is that you're studying will pay off. So like if you're
Yeah.
studying something like, let's say, anthropology, so you're going through different cultural artifacts throughout history, it's not like you can't just study it as a field. You have to study like, okay, I want to do like Italian Renaissance anthropology of like the peak of the Renaissance, or like before the Renaissance, or after the Renaissance, or um, like let's say even like in Egypt's case, like okay, well sure you can study like the pyramids, but like under which pharaoh and
Hmm.
in which century, and it just gets like so specific that you really 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 got to know what the application is, because I realized one thing in university. I was like, oh, some of this is like it's like a Ponzi scheme. Like you have to get other people to buy into it for it to make sense. So when you get out of university, like let's say you have some like super hyper focused degree, all you can do with it is you can just teach other people that then go on to teach other people. But there's not like you're not producing anything. There's not like you're not making anything for the market. There's no product, no service, nothing. You're just teaching the next people. Like, oh, okay, good, great.
Mhm. It's quite specific. Like really, I don't think I would. I would like to go that deep into like with I don't know. Like I think the good thing about the bachelors in here with architecture, that they open for you masters in like various art related stuff. Like you can take masters in filming just because you have an architecture degree right now, or I don't know, an art field, or I don't know, a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Um, so in terms of the where art is kind of headed in the digital age, a lot of people are moving into, well, have already moved into and have existed in the NFT space for a while. Um, do you sell any of your works on any of these markets at all? Have you tried that out at all?
Oh, like I didn't like give it a thought at all. Like I don't really prefer it. So I never even like give it a thought before about like, oh, I want to do this or no. I was like, ah, no, I don't I don't think it's for me.
No, why not?
I'm not so sure. Like there's like different aspects of it. Like okay, there is beside the aspect of using too much energy or this or this or that. Like I feel okay, like there's too much fucked up stuff that's happening beside NFT that's fucking up the energy with like the wars or like the shit ton of bombs that are being bombed in Gaza and everything. So it's okay, like if we're gonna take the energy debate, it's valid, but this is not the reason mainly. But I feel like more, I don't know, it's, how do you say, it's like like it's like a virtual market, and
Hmm.
for me I didn't gravitate much to that idea of it. Like I didn't care much about it, so I don't know, I never thought of initiating it.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's yet another place where artists can sell their work, and there's a lot of
Hmm.
ways that anyone can do or like go about it. And I'm by no means, I'm not trying to sell you on it. It's just a lot of the artists that I meet in the digital space, especially, they do a lot of NFT work on the side just because it's like an extra source of income, and it just opens up to a lot more opportunities regarding the kind of things that you can do with your art, because now you can actually make it into like a technically like permanent piece, a one of one, instead of just like a JPEG or anything like that.
Mhm. Yeah, it's like it's interesting. I just didn't feel like or maybe I don't know, like at some point, but I didn't feel like much. Oh, I wanna go this way, not this way. Like mainly maybe after focusing on what I want to head to with, the animation or video games or movies, it can come to that at one point. But for now, I'm just, trying to get my head at one place.
Yeah, no, no, fair enough. You got a lot to juggle, so like that's it's certainly a lot. Because I know some artists, they'll sell like assets that they make in Blender, or different texture packs. Have you ever thought about doing anything like that? Because one thing that does like come through your work is just the sheer amount of different textures that you're using for all these different scenes.
For like Blender, like I'm not that good at all with Blender at this point to, have like an asset pack that I can sell, or like a texture pack, because it mainly just like the textures, all of them are mainly taken from the painting that I already did, and then I build the scene on it, and then I project the painting on the model,
Mhm.
and then the missing pieces like the wall from behind, or like an angle you cannot see. Either I would repaint it and put it as a texture, or I would move stuff around to match this missing part. So it's situational, I think. Like every piece is like situational for what I did on 2D beforehand.
I see. So I'm guessing you work on a tablet for most of these paintings.
Yeah, yeah, all of them. Like I have the Wacom, I think the Intuos Pro. Like it's been with me for like quite a while. I had before like another one, and it doesn't make a difference at all what tablet you're using. I think both for me did exactly the same thing.
Yeah, because I'd imagine using just a mouse and cursor on a lot of this stuff would be very, very difficult.
There's like there I have a couple of friends that do that. Like one of them, Leia Pinto, she's really amazing. She most of the time paints with her mouse, which is fucking crazy to me.
Wow.
And a couple of my friends heard that from her, and they tried it, and they were like, "Fuck, it's really good." I tried it. I don't know how to feel about it yet. I didn't give it like much of a try, but I got too used to like the tablet.
Yeah, it's a lot easier. You have a much like freer range of motion. It's like you're drawing on a piece of paper basically. So the all the skills and all the motor skills that you've learned over all the decades, it just translates to a different medium. That's it. That's all that's changed. But all the motor skills and everything, it's still there.
The good way about like painting with the mouse, because with this style you have to be like really straightforward. If you look with the different paintings, it's rarely that you see a soft brush or like smudgy parts or anything. So you have to be bold with the brush strokes you have. So for me, I paint really quickly. Like if I have the tablet, like I'll just boom, 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 like brush strokes. But when you have the mouse, then you are thinking of almost every brush stroke you make, so you are more decisive with it, which eventually leads to like you having much more confident with the brushwork, and also like taking your time with it. So like this aspect of it is really good, and this is what like why I want to give it more of a try, to try to maybe slow myself down with the strokes that I do with the painting. Like how would it look eventually?
Hmm. And how is it that you when you're working on a piece, how is it that you know when you're actually when you're done, when you can step away from it? Is it like is there like a feeling? Because that's basically what other artists have told me is that it's not even a decision that they make. It's just visually when they look at it, they think, no, I think that's enough. There's not really much more that could be added here.
Yeah, yeah, like exactly. Yeah, like sometimes to better like judge that, you have to sleep it off or like spend the day outside of the painting and look at it with fresh eye if like it doesn't seem wrong, or if you see it from afar and if you're like, okay, it works, I can see it from far away, it seems like there's nothing odd that my eye caught or anything,
Mm-hmm.
and then you look up closely, it seems fine, because at one point pushing details would harm it more than, like help you with the painting. But at the same time, like you can always push more. So like there's always a push that sometimes I am guilty of, like not not doing it. I'm like, okay, fuck it, let's try a different piece. That you can always push a little bit further more, and like the stuff that you got lazy to do or you kind of ignored in the painting, and like, it will get away, nobody will see it or something, when you push with this part, it makes a lot of difference. So I think like a good day off of like the painting and coming back to it, you kind of have like, okay, a fresh eye, fresh start, and like you have more energy instead of like being all the time on that one piece, you get bored.
I see, I see. So you gotta just you treat it like something that's I don't know, like that you kind of have like a relationship with it. So you have to spend time away from it and then come back whenever you're ready, and then just kind of go from there back and forth.
Yeah, exactly, yes.
I see, I see. Okay.
It's like so many times, like when I look at like the painting with a fresh eye, it makes a lot of difference. Like I'm like, fuck, how didn't I see this before? So it's really good. Like even within the day, I keep like taking like, okay, sometimes I take a nap, like 2 hour nap, or like, I don't know, go for a cigarette or do this or that and come back to it, because I need to have the fresh eye at least 30 minutes away of the painting to do something and come back.
Okay. Gotcha, gotcha. Do you do you have anything that you're working on currently, or are you just focusing on school since the new semester started?
No, like right now, like I'm not working on anything yet, but even with school, like I don't really care much. If I got like a project to do, then the main priority for me honestly would be with work, and then the school stuff. Like I manage myself like at the critical critical times, and then I pass. So it's good. Or even if I don't pass, then I at least I failed for a reason. Like, okay, I was working, I was doing this or that, so I don't mind that if I'm gonna retake an exam somewhere in the summer or whatever. Like, I wouldn't prioritize that over that.
Gotcha, gotcha. How do you manage burnout? How do you manage to make sure that you're not working yourself to the bone when you're juggling all of this?
Fuck, like it gets sometimes really bad. Like, mainly the worst time it would get would be during the exam season. Like this
Mm,
is the worst. Like the whole semester will be fine, but the exam season, then you have to be logged in here with exams or and work both together. So for like a month, like you're working like all the time, like no time to rest. Sometimes you just need like, let me breathe for a week. Just let me have a breath. But usually just when the exams are done or like the main design thing is done or this or that, then I give myself like, okay, time away, either from painting or just painting for work, and then I force myself to go out or do something or smoke or see the streets to get inspired, or maybe just as simple as like opening Pinterest, or like tutorials, a course, anything. Like, okay, I'm not painting, I'm getting away from painting for a little bit, couple of days, a week or more, but at the same time I'm trying to feed myself anything to keep me like not far from the loop.
I see. So just finding anything that'll kind of like give you a break from it, anything that'll get your mind off of it.
And it helps a lot. Like most of the times that I got any idea for anything to do or an idea that I want to turn into a movie, it would usually come from these breaks that I take. Or like if I was like, okay, fuck it, let's go out, like walk literally at night, just do whatever. I see a lot of stuff. Like it's fun to go around and just focus on what's happening around.
Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, I mean, in a place like where you live, I'd imagine there's always something to do. Always some kind of new cafe or new restaurant or wherever, just to go and hang out.
Yeah, yeah, like even like okay, like sometimes you would be in the same place every day, but then like one part of the day you did something new, or you break the routine a little bit, and when you go for that one side quest, a lot of shit happens. It's just it keeps going.
I see, I see. Yeah, no, because that's certainly important, especially like when you're in school. It's in some ways, like when you're in it, people think that it's like some kind of it's a good thing that you're working yourself to that point, but at the end of the day, all you have is your health, and no
Mhm.
degree is worth, sacrificing your life for.
No, yeah, like I see a lot of people with me, like my friends and like people from uni, they really, really, really stress about like getting like the perfect grade possible they can get, or like getting a high grade, or like this or that. But like
Mm,
fuck, it's not worth this much stress to it. Like I cannot give two single fucks about it. So just let me pass. Let me, maybe if I something was actually useful to me, okay, but I wouldn't let myself like have a huge breakdown because I didn't get three or four more grades. Like, no.
mm. Yeah, I basically got like that towards the end of my degree as well. Like at first, I wanted to get 80s and 90s and as close to 100 as I could get, but once I realized that all I had to do was just pass, and my GPA didn't really matter all that much, then I was like, oh well, fuck it. Like as long as I get the minimum, that's really all
Yeah,
that matters.
it's
Like
a
especially
huge relief.
if you don't have to do anything with your degree after.
Yeah, it's like it's a huge relief. Like, okay, like now a lot of the stress is gone. You can actually function bit or do anything when you know like, okay, I don't have to always be perfect with the grades. The problem is like always the first year of uni is where like you get the high hopes up because usually the grades are good. You got like B's or straight A's or whatever,
Hmm.
and then you feel like a slap on the face with the second year, and everything is just going to shit.
Yeah, yeah, no, that sounds about right. It was usually, well, at least here, it would be actually the first year where you would get that shock because everyone, the school system is fairly standardized here, but even so, they can't make the standards the same everywhere. So
Mhm.
if you were used to getting 80s and 90s, you would expect at least like a 20 to 30% drop in your grades when you
Mhm.
when you got to university, just because the format is so different, the class structure is so different. And even like I went to a high school that was their reputation is built on preparing people for university, and I was like, you guys didn't prepare us for anything. Like there's no comparing it.
Yeah, it was like a lot different, like quite different from what I used to, and like the main drop for me, that in high school, like I studied everything was in Arabic, like physics, chemistry, this and this and this. So in Arabic, we write even math from right to left, like even with numbers and this and this and this. So when I switched to uni and then everything was in English and we were doing like intense calculus, physics, and that, and now I have to also start from left to right. That was crazy, but it took me like maybe a semester to get just adjusted on writing numbers from left to right.
Oh, I didn't realize that you guys had a completely different system.
Yeah, 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 like it was like a British university, but even with like a normal university, all the engineering in Egypt is taught in English. So if you didn't go to an English high school, then you had to go through that drop of your whole life studying with Arabic. Now, yeah, now you're gonna switch.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, it's kind of weird when you think about it because that's where math originated from from the Arab world, and
Mhm.
even though that's where it originated, like you guys didn't set the standard for the universe.
No, not at all. It's yeah, it's quite like even like a bit weird that I mean it's a good thing to always like have the like okay now you can work in English or do this and this and that, but also it's quite a shame that there's not the option of having your textbooks or like your actual module written in Arabic or your like or something standardized, you know, in the Middle East
Hmm.
at least.
What was what do you think was the biggest culture shock for you when you came to Italy?
I didn't get actually like much of culture shocks. Like the only thing that I I was just shocked about how early everything closes. That I think that's the main culture shock that I had because at 8 exactly 8 p.m. 90% of the stuff would be closed. 10 p.m. that's everything. Maybe 99. The 1% left is like the bars, a bar or a club.
Oh, so nightlife in Egypt is like that's as common as day life essentially. You guys are open like 24/7 then.
Yeah, 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 exactly. Like you, if you wanna have like a heavy ass meal at 4 a.m., shit ton of restaurants are open. Like you, whatever you wish for, you can get like a heavy meal at night. You wanna go out at night, like to like we go instead of bars because there's no drinking much in Egypt. Like you go to a local coffee shop, and most of them would be like 24/7. They're open. You and your friend with like a shisha, you're sitting there
Mhm.
talking for a good like hour or two, and then you go back home like sometimes 5 a.m. and, and then you sleep.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, here everything closes, like all the bars by law, they have to be closed, I think, at like 2, and then on certain holidays, they'll let it be open until about 3 or 4 a.m. And
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's when they stop serving liquor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, like at 2 o'clock is like the cutoff time for at least my province where I'm at for the most part. I think in Quebec it might be 3 a.m., but I could be wrong. But yeah, from
Mhm.
like most of Canada, I think it's about like 2 a.m. or so that you can be open until.
Right. Oh, okay. So, okay. But yeah, like for me, I feel like at least like the 2 a.m. is like the peak drinking time. Like if you want to drink, this is where when like the engine usually gets on. I'm like, okay, fuck it, I'm drinking more. But which is probably maybe why the reason they did this. But it's fun at this late at night.
Yeah, yeah, no, fair enough, fair enough. Um, well, listen, so we're reaching the 2 hour mark here. Is there anything else that you wanted to discuss, or any work of yours that you wanted to share?
No, I think like now, like honestly, this passed quite quickly. That was really nice. I don't think there is not much more stuff to talk about. But yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you did. I did as well. Thank you for making the time to come on. You have a very interesting art style that I'm seeing now more and more, and I think it's because of the popularity of Into the Spider Verse. That kind of like layered texture, that mixture of very
Mhm.
organic and also very like solid and rigid shapes. It just looks very rough, but um, when it's together and it's complete, it looks like a really well done piece. I mean, it looks like you essentially just stacked shapes on top of one another, and then eventually like the full picture um,
Yeah,
comes through.
exactly. Yes.
Yeah. No, very, very
Just
good
like
stuff.
trying to make shapes look like simplified as you can.
Yeah, no, and like I said, when I first stumbled upon your work, just in the Twitter, the way that it crops stuff and makes it look small, I assumed, oh, this is just
Mhm.
like a really, really high definition photo, or it's like some slightly edited photo. But no, like this is an actual like a digital painting.
Thank you.
Yeah, like even like the reflection in this scene here, um, yeah, it looks so realistic. It's hard to believe that it's 2D, but yeah, man. So in terms of socials, people can find all your links on your Twitter, which is at Salah Mustafa with 2 M's.
Mhm.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, yeah, thank you again for making the time. Thank you everyone for
Thank
joining
you.
us. When your film comes out, please do let us know. We'll gladly share it on the page. And yeah, if you got any future projects coming up or anything else that you want to come feature on the show, don't hesitate to reach out. We'd love to have you back on.
Okay, perfect. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, and best of luck with your degree. You got one more year left. It's almost done.
Yeah, almost done. Finally.
Almost done. But yeah, guys, have yourself a good night, and we'll see you later.
See you. Bye.